morning, everybody. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. I'm sorry. I was starting up this morning, and I sat there and I thought, you know what? I was about to turn on my regular theme song, and I was like, I don't know if it really fits the theme. You know, I don't know if it really fits the theme, and so I was like, oh. I know it's cruel. I'm sorry. But, I mean, listen, it's a good song, isn't it? It's a good song. Yunbio, Joksan, Sao, Fa, Millie, thank you guys very much for the supers. Lovely to see all the love today. I had a really, really good time yesterday. Like, genuinely, I really did. And I know you guys didn't, but today, I wanted to just kind of like, because I don't have much time today, I'm really just swamped with a load of different things, but I still want to stream because this is like the main part of my job where this is what I signed up to do, this is what I want to do more of, and so I want to make sure that I stream as often as I can. And today I figured it would be nice if we could clear the air a little bit after yesterday, and we could have a little chat, some behind the scenes goodies, and maybe a teaser for next time. Who knows? Just whatever you guys want. So sorry. Lemon Tart, Huma, Eagle, Kinoko, thank you. Grace, thank you for the Akasupa. Well, yes. See, it's released at Kazup Na today. That's funny. Wombat and Michiko, thank you very much. So, when it comes to the ASMR that I made yesterday, I'll confirm a few things for you, okay? So yes, again, this was another ASMR that was pretty much entirely improvised. I knew, obviously, I had to make some elements of it in advance. So no, I couldn't like decide the plot too much, but I knew he was gonna go off to war and get shot up, and then do the whole like wound dressing thing and have all the sad stuff. But the rest of the lines, the dialogue was all mostly improvised, which is I feel pretty chuffed with myself after yesterday. I think I did a pretty good job, and I think it's one of the most exciting things about this job in a big way is the fact that like I don't think many other people will ever have the opportunity of like really getting to show people something that you've worked that hard on. Like I work pretty hard on every ASMR every week, but each one, like especially this one, I remember when I went into it, I was a little sort of like, oh, I don't really know if I have enough ideas. I don't know if I'm gonna do as well as I normally do. And then I think I realized that I would get to really kind of tap into like my love for fantasy and Tolkien and all of that kind of stuff, and I think it worked pretty well. I mean, seeing the response on Twitter and the live tag trended, and seeing all the fan art and everything was pretty ridiculous. I feel really flattered, and I think it reminds me why I enjoy doing this type of content so much. And so it's one of the reasons why this week we're in for another surprise. So let me quickly catch up on supers. Wet Gloves, thank you. Morgan Bullen, Awan Don, Shu Ying, Frost Crow, Wrench, S Tang, Donguri, Wheatia, Dark Angel, Yuki, Tansy, Diana Chung. Oh, there's a lot of these. Charlie Wang, Wetbag. Oh, goodness me, thank you guys. Huma, Enko, thank you very much. And Sensen, Sama, Ming, Spring Lee, Maple Moose Muffin, and Key Diva. Thank you so much. Pei Ying, Interstellar, Yuisu. Thank you guys. Persephone, thank you very much. Koyuki, thank you very much. Yeah, no. Can we get a teaser on the Dragon ASMR? Yes, I was planning on doing so. So, how about let's so we'll have like a little bit of time where we talk about like behind the scenes, because I figured that'd be interesting, and then after that we can go ahead and we can I'll give you guys a teaser for next time. Ooh, you guys are being so generous. Thank you. Mikanagi, Haru, Yan Chestnut, thank you for the Akasupa. Jin Peach, Meow Puff, Mbakayase, Libra, thank you. Piltcat, thank you for the Akasupa. The crying scene. I saw a meme where it was the group crying scene from Midsummer, and that was just you guys after the thing. That made me very happy. See, it's like I said at debut, I love art films that like really push people to feel upset and to empathize with an emotion that the director wants them to feel, and I was like, fuck it, you know, that's what I'm going to do today. Mango, Sarakwan, Aikash92, Kaneshiro, Nana77, Encho, Miratress, Venus, Paradoxy, Yura, Ginny Moo Moo, and Yurisa, thank you for the Akasupa. Whiny, thank you very much. Whew. It's not that I'm happy seeing you cry, I'm happy knowing that something I made connected with you emotionally, and that's what I want to try and push for in days to come. Honey, Avis, and Shimu, thank you so much. So, Tokito, thank you for the Akasupa. Sorry, I'm just gonna be sat there. Yes, can you guys imagine a universe where RuneScape did not allow their BGM to be used freely and to be monetized on YouTube? This chat, like, I feel like half of my production value comes from the RuneScape soundtrack, because the modern game has become so huge that there's music for pretty much every occasion. Thank you, Naku, that's super sweet of you to say. Shogun-sama, Pipo, thank you very much. Fujiyama, Michelle Mybell, thank you very much. And KK, thank you for the Akasupa. Night 2 about rebirth and re-encounter, I shan't say anything. Vanessa, Anna, Yukinya, thank you. Mimi, Shun, Chen, thank you. On your welcome, Chen. I think it's lovely fan art. I really enjoy getting to use that. YQ, Tolbam, Eva, thank you. Surakula. Okay. So where should we start? So I'll talk a little bit about the way that I put the ASMR together, and so yeah, it's from RuneScape. It's from an expansion they released a little bit ago called the Elder God Wars, and I went onto this YouTube channel that like re-uploads a load of RuneScape music that I did. I was like, I wonder which song is going to sound good, and then I knew going in that I wanted the scene where he gets, you know, killed, or the scene where he gets shot to be sort of very Tolkien-esque, you know, like in my main inspiration was Return of the King, when Pippin and does Pippin ride? It's when no, it's when Faramir rides for Gondor in order to impress his father, and you have and Pippin is singing, "To the edge of night, home is behind," and you have this very soft, sullen song while these men ride to their inevitable death. And I thought, like, okay, I need to sort of take inspiration from that scene. That's what I wanted to do, and the music sounded pretty similar in a lot of ways, so I wanted to go with that. And from there, that was sort of like the beginning. That was where I got that sorted out. The actual like sort of the setup with the scenes is always fairly simple. So the way that I do scenes for ASMR is that I tend to set up, you know, the app Shoost, which I use for the lighting. I will set up like a profile for each different scene, and I make the transitions long enough that I can mute my mic and quickly just close one instance of the program and then load up another one with one of the different scenes loaded into it, right? So I can just boot that up and be like, yo, here's this, here's that, and then I can get the right one ready, put it up, and then I'll be like, and then just get back into position and go, and then keep acting, which is always fun. As for the sound effects, people thought I was using kitchenware, which is only half true. Only half true. So what I did for the sound effects is that I bought a load of metal implements on Amazon. So I had a little roll of chain, I had some little metal plates, and I had the handcuffs. So what I did was I put the little metal plates underneath the handcuffs, and then on top of that, I put the chains, so I was like moving them around like little boots. But then on top of that, I did use a kitchen implement. It was a baking tray from my oven, and I was like bum 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 bum, and moving them around like that. Yashido, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Thank you so much. That's super generous of you. I always buy things for ASMR, yeah. If I need a specific sound effect, I'll always buy something. So for the painter ASMR, I bought, obviously, paints, a little canvas, some paint brushes, which I still have. I've started using, so for the painter ASMR, I had like the canvases, I didn't realize I was buying ones that were really small. They're like the size of a tea coaster. And so all I did was I just sort of painted on those to make the sounds. And then once I was done with it and the paint dried, I started using them as actual drinks coasters, which has been kind of interesting. I hate to break it to you, but if we ever did do a hand cam painting stream, you wouldn't be very impressed. I can't draw for toffee, but you know. So after that, I have a very interesting story to tell you about. So when I say most, if not all, of the ASMR streams are improvised, I'm not lying. And I think the hardest part is that BB-chan, oh my goodness, BB-chan, thank you for the Akasupa, and Harumi, thank you very much for the Akasupa as well. That was making it feel like a film was always my intention. So I'll continue with my story afterwards, but I think when it comes to YouTube, I will always see this job as sort of baby's first filmmaking in a way. Not to undervalue the work that YouTubers do, but I think that while we're working with such limited resources and such a limited setup, you kind of have to, if you want to make art on YouTube, you have to fit it within the mold of what people want to see from YouTube. So for me, that's streams, and you know, I need to kind of work my passion for film into that in a way that makes sense and that will help me keep this channel afloat. And for me, the ASMR streams are my favorite way of doing that. Whether we're being sus or whether I'm trying to tell a story, it's there's a bit of everything, right? Yu Yu Feng, thank you for the Akasupa, the arrow. Yeah. I knew I was making it way too loud, but I wanted to give you guys a bit of a shock. I think that I think it worked pretty well. You know, it's an interesting thing. In Citizen Kane, there's actually a bird. Halfway through the film, there is a random shot that cuts to a bird, and it very loudly goes, "Ah!" And when they asked the director, like, what exactly was the symbolism behind this bird? You know, why was it so loud? And he said, oh, I wanted to make sure people weren't falling asleep. That man, Orson Welles. You know. Angelina, thank you for the Akasupa. Life may let you down sometimes, but Vox Akuma's ASMR will never let you down. That is high praise. That is high praise. And Yui, how many times have I used the handcuffs? Officer, doctor, I was, vampire, and then I played around with them on Mel's stream because I was bored, and that was like a couple days after vampire, and the night one, so like 5 streams. They've been good value for money, I'll tell you that. You know, they're not play handcuffs. They're some of the ones that genuinely you need a key to open them. And I remember when I was doing the officer one, I was just fiddling with them like while I was getting ready. And I literally just trapped myself in them. I was like, la 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 la. Oh shit. And it was like 5 minutes before the stream starts. So before that very sexy, very overly sussy stream, I was running around my bedroom with my hands cuffed, trying desperately to reach down to find the key somewhere on the ground so that I could like awkwardly unlock them and then get to stream. It was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I'm an idiot like that. I really don't think straight sometimes. Lays, thank you for the Akasupa. Oh, I'm sorry it was your birthday yesterday, but a happy birthday for yesterday. The production was impeccable. Thank you so much. Got your handwriting tattooed on my forearm! My handwriting looks like shit, are you sure? That's really sweet of you, though. Thank you. I'll do my best to make that tattoo worth it. Yo say, thank you. And Benny, thank you for the Akasupa. Wow. I'm really glad that even though that's a real life experience for you, that you connected with it. You know, that's really interesting, and I'm glad that you made it out okay. But yeah, that's the thing about YouTube, is we need to fit our passions through the mold of what works on YouTube. Because if you only ever make things that purely entertain you and that you love, you might not be as successful as you need to be to keep your lights on. And so, you know, for me, it's about finding the balance, and ASMR is the biggest way that I can find that balance, and I can get, every week, I can get really, really creative, and that makes me super happy. And the night ASMR, I think, is the most creative I've been so far. I have a big love for, like, fantasy, and I love Lord of the Rings, and I love Tolkien, and getting to explore that sort of a vibe, and getting to use fantasy music, and getting to use, you know, all of those different things, it was extremely entertaining for me, and it was probably some of the most fun I've had on stream in a long time, long time, and I have you guys to thank for, like, giving me a platform to express myself in that way, and I only want to keep upping my game from here. It will continue to be every single week, and I'll keep talking about Night, but I'll address the dragon one in a little bit. So, the most hilarious part is that I ran into a pretty humongous technical hiccup halfway through the stream. And the hard part about ASMR is that you need to keep it immersive all the way through. You cannot break character, or else anyone listening to the VOD is going to be disturbed. Their immersion will be broken and they won't enjoy it as much. And I want to hold myself to a higher standard than to like... Because earlier on, before I treated it so seriously, you know, the Ancient one and the Officer one, I was like reading supers. In the Box Tenchi one, you can hear me clicking all the time and that kind of stuff. Like, but since then, I've tried really hard to up my game and make it more of a story thing. But we ran into a technical problem, and I couldn't exactly say, hold on guys, and go and fix it, because we were in the thick of it. It was during the intense scene. Vox Dolly Akuma, thank you for the Aka Super, that's so kind of you. I love you too. So, essentially, I realized that I had unplugged the camera that you can see me on, right? At some point yesterday, I must have tried charging something else. And I noticed that in the last half of the ASMR, its battery was starting to run out. And I started panicking. I was like, oh shit, I'm either gonna need to wrap this up. And so I was like, in my head, I sort of, I planned it out. And I know that it gives you a warning. You know, it says 20% battery, and then it says 10%, and then it turns off. And I thought, okay, I think I should be able to make it to the end of time. And so I just sort of kept doing it. And it was at that moment that I realized, it was that moment that I knew he had to die. Because I had just this image in my head of the battery running out and me freezing. And then that would be the end. And I did not think that it would happen as suddenly as I thought. I thought that it was going to say, warning, battery shutting down in 30 seconds. And so I would have time to sort of rev up to it. But it didn't. It very suddenly turned off, and I didn't even notice for a little bit, and then I looked up and I saw it. So, if anything, I would say the suddenness of it helped, in a way. I was planning on, like, a speech, you know, some sort of, like, mentioning how he could see, you know, the whole line of him seeing the stars whirling overhead and everything. I had this idea that I would be able to deliver a speech, but suddenly, you know, in the same way that the night died on you, my camera died on me. And I just had to make it work. And I thought, fuck it. That's just how it's gonna work. Slack! Slack! What?
Ba. Turn off notifications for 2 hours, please. Thank you.
But yeah, and so I just saw that and I was like, all right, this is how it's going to work. And it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but a lot of what happens on ASMR, you need to improvise when things go wrong. Because, like, breaking character and saying, like, oh shit, guys, sorry, something fell over, is, you know, it breaks immersion. Another example that I can tell you, another example where the camera fucked me over was during Merman. About halfway through, essentially, I was like, okay, it's not really, like, getting my face properly. I want to kind of, like, shuffle it around. So I tried moving it a little bit. And then, do you guys remember during the Merman ASMR, a loud bang halfway through, like a jump scare? And I said, oh, your shampoo bottle fell off the wall. That was my camera falling over and me scrambling out of the bath to go put it back up. There was no such thing as a shampoo bottle falling over. I just needed to think of something that needed to think of an excuse for that loud bang. Are we playing FNAF? We die by running out of battery? Yeah! Scarlatini, Saphrodisiac, so sorry. Cat, thank you very much. But other than that, like TJ, Lena, Sadina, Dark Angel, Zelen, Irene, thank you very much. So other than that, everything in there is pretty genuine, you know. I think a lot of the dialogue is inspired by other fantasy dialogue, so there's some stuff that I can remember hearing from odd places in games like Elden Ring. Obviously the whole Old English, like, in thy honor, I would get from games like Dark Souls, and then I think I just watch enough fantasy to the point where, like, coming up with fantasy sounding dialogue is a little bit easier, you know. it's sort of it's at a point where it kind of comes naturally, and so it's not really so difficult to just sort of like come up with something that sounds a little more interesting. And next time you listen to one of my ASMRs, I'd like you to sort of pay attention to when I pause, because I guarantee that, like, I know ASMR, it's about a little bit of dead space, and it's about leaving pauses so you can fill out a long time. But a lot of the time when I pause for a long time, it's because I'm trying to think of what the fuck to say. I'm like, in thy divine beauty, you know, it's like I'm trying to think of a good line. But I think it works. I've kind of found like a good pattern for it, you know, where I don't need to worry so much about being perfect all the time, and I also don't need to worry about getting shit wrong, because I can take my time, I can sort of pause for a minute, think of something, and then come up with something new. Nanako, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Yesterday was a real it's a masterpiece. Well, I only intend on topping it next week, like seriously. So, I'm gonna tell you one thing, because I planned on keeping this a secret up until the I announced the ASMR, or I put the waiting room up. But you guys have suffered enough, and you deserve some crumbs about where the story is going. So I'm going to confirm that the Dragon ASMR is a direct sequel to the Knight ASMR, and it will continue the story. I think I've decided that. So with the normal Akumaverse stuff, where you run into all of my different characters, we sort of hit a point where you guys didn't really want... After the boyfriend one, it was like, why would I be hanging out with all of these sleazy characters when the boyfriend character is just the end game? You know, he's so nice, his flags are so green, he takes care of you, he's hot. You know, it's like, why would I wind up shagging an officer or a doctor when I've got him in my life? And I was like, yeah, it's true. There's like an element of dishonesty there, and I wouldn't want people to feel like they're NTRing him whenever they listen to an ASMR. So I think now, I don't know where I would take it after next week. I have the whole story already like figured out in my head. Obviously with elements of improv will be there, like always. I can't write a 2-hour script every week, that would drive me insane. But after that, I'm not sure where I'll take it, but I feel like just taking the concept of like a branching story told through ASMR and putting it in a different setting is pretty exciting. So I'd like it if maybe after Dragon, maybe we just stick in a fantasy setting for a little while, and we have like, you know, all of these different characters. Who knows? Maybe we'll continue the story in lots and lots of different ways. Yeah, we're gonna come up with like some really fun and interesting stuff to do, and I really hope you guys like the direction I take with the Dragon ASMR. I've also come up with a solution. So basically what I've done, so the way my ASMR mic works, it has 2 XLR outputs. So you got to plug in 2 cables, and you got to plug each of them into an interface. I can't do that on my Go XLR, or at least I couldn't until tomorrow. I have to use a different interface, and that interface doesn't have reverb or the... Hold on. There you go. I don't know why my...
Baba Booey.
There you go. It doesn't have any of that. And I would need that for the Dragon, because with the Dragon, I want to be able to go... or something like that. And so, but of course, I would need... So what I've done is I've bought a special cable that I can use to like plug my ASMR mic into my Go XLR, and then from there, hopefully, we should be able to have that crisp ASMR sound quality with the binaural, while you've got a dragon's voice going, "Who are you?" Maybe I don't want to have the voice too deep. Maybe just a little bit. "Who are you, and where do you come from?" I'm basically just doing Smaug. I'm taking 100% inspiration from Smaug, because Smaug is hot, and that is fine. Plot fail. Chinle, Yuki, Nya, Ray, thank you very much. And so sorry, thank you for the Akasupa. The second one that made you cry. What was the other one? Not just an ASMR stream, but a film created by you and the Kindred. When will your next masterpiece be released? Show us the OST list. Yes! So, the song is called Sacrifice, and it's from... I'll send you guys a link right now. Where is it? So, it's from this, expansion for RuneScape. Here it is. Let me just go ahead and grab this for you guys right now. Bada bing. I'm not gonna pin it, but yes, it's called Sacrifice from the Elder God Wars Extinction update for RuneScape, and that's my favorite thing about this is the fact that like you guys have no fucking idea how much music adds to production value and how easy it is to make something feel expensive and fancy when you add music to it. It's a secret weapon. Yui, thank you very much for the super. Doggish Cat, Case M, Celia, Malapis, thank you very much as well. Behind the scenes chat is also my fave. Yes, I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. Yuan Chang, Ma Shaki, thank you very much. It's incredible how, you know, I was thinking like, God, I don't know if I'm going to find the right music. You know, RuneScape is just, you know, it's got music of a certain type. And then I just found this song and I was like, that's it. That's it. That's what we're using. And so I went and I grabbed it and I just sort of played that for a little while. And I remember when, for the second transition, I thought about it and I was like, do I want, like this whole song is so good. Do I want to make the second transition? Thank you, Merryweather. Yeah, you're so right. It is top tier. And Soma Luna, thank you very much for the super as well. I thought, do I want to make the second transition so long? And then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I do. I'm going to make it a 2-minute transition that has just all of these different sound effects. And the hardest part probably was finding the different arrow sound effects. And I had to pay for a load of different sounds off of pro sound effects and all that kind of stuff and sort of layer them together. Had to tap into a bit of my experience with sound design and do all of that. First one is Boyfriend 2. Ah, yes, a classic. Mihami, thank you very much. At some point, I kind of want to redo the old, Elansaya, thank you for the super. At some point, I kind of want to redo the old, please make the dragon ASMR sus. Yeah, in a way, I think I will. In a way, I think I will. Because we've had, what have we had? Like, was the vampire one sus? It kind of, but not really. It was more just aggressive. I think it was sus in a way, but the dragon one, I like the idea of finding a way of making it sus, but without sacrificing the purity that we had in the last one. You know, I think I can find a middle ground where we can cater to both the people who want to experience the plot and the monster fuckers. They're all valid, okay? Agaris, Cyrus, thank you for the super. Nekosaka, thank you for the Aka super. Bunch of messages with cry. Ah, she works in the that's exciting. Thank you, Nekosaka, Agaris, Ian, and KS. Thank you so much. But yeah, like, damn, that's exciting. I've always thought, and I've probably said this a bunch of times. And I could see people speculating about the dragon plot, and I ain't telling you shit. I know exactly what I'm going to do for it, and I am not telling you shit. Just want the dragon to be super evil. Well, you never know. I mean, who am I to say? I ain't telling you shit. You gotta wait for Saturday, and then we will get a chance to experience what it will be like.
I don't recall you mentioning my name, Bilbo Baggins.
The hardest part of the dragon one is that you kind of have to... I said this on my 24-hour stream. You kind of have to, like, shape your mouth in a different way, because a dragon's mouth is very long, and so it's very sort of bestial in that kind of way. And so you can't just talk like, hello guys, dragon. It's not really going to work. You sort of have to make it sound like super raspy and push your lips out a little bit.
Bilbo Baggins. I don't recall you mentioning my name.
Like, I'll definitely do some practice with it, because I don't think I have it fully correct yet. I might actually watch the second Hobbit film back again so that I can watch the there and back again. I'll watch it back again so that I can like study the scene a little bit, because that's my favorite thing to do, is kind of like get some inspiration from other performances and Grace, thank you very much for the Aka Super. You know what? I have to say, some of you guys give me such good fucking ideas in chat while I'm doing the ASMR. Like, I have a vague idea, and then when I was gonna do the wound dressing thing, like the wound cauterizing thing, I came up with that on the spot, by the way. I had the campfire, but I didn't think about cauterizing the wound. I was suddenly like, oh yeah, he's got a gaping hole in him. We'll just like apply some bandages, some antiseptic or something like that, and that's painful enough. And then I thought, oh no. Do we have a fire? This man has a sword. Oh ho! We can make this even worse. And then I was like, you know, and then we did that whole thing. I don't read pre-chat much. Sometimes I will drop in and read what the fuck you guys are saying, and I'm like, huh, okay. And then I'll just kind of like drop out. I used to make myself known in pre-chat, and people were like, Dad, go away, shut the fuck up, leave us alone. I'm like, all right, damn, I'm going, you know. I'm very excited for the ASMR this week. And I'm excited for the other streams this week as well. I've got a busy week this week, and it's one of the reasons why the streams are at odd times. I'm having a visit. I'm gonna see my family this week, which I'm really excited for. I haven't seen them in like a good while. And I've also just got a load of random ass jobs from staff that I need to catch up on. And it's gonna be pretty exhausting, but I'm gonna get it done. What else was I gonna say? Oh yes, of course. I had to have come from somewhere. I mentioned I hadn't seen them in a while, and maybe you'll get to meet my family eventually. But you know, anyway, they're popping over to my apartment. Later this week, and I needed to kind of work this shit around it eventually, but no. But yes, so other than that, what was I going to say? Yeah, I've got a load of shit going on today, and my new TV, unbroken, unfucked up, should be arriving today. So, God willing, after this stream, we have a 4-hour time slot in which it could arrive. I will be tidying up my apartment, doing a big blitz, setting everything up, and then hopefully I will have 2 blokes come in, build my television, show me how it works, and then I will be able to relax on my nice sofa, and I will finally be able to watch Obi-Wan, which I have been waiting for a long time. My personal trainer had been begging me to watch Obi-Wan since we first met, and I imagine he's very excited for me to finally get. Every time I go for training with him, he always says, "You have no idea, fam, how hard it is not to talk about Obi-Wan with you." And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to it. I just want that big cinema experience. Like, yeah, man, you gotta watch it, you know. And it's like we have just this little banter back and forth about it. But hopefully I will actually get to talk with him about the show, which I'm very excited for. I love Star Wars and I love Obi-Wan, and the fact that they got Ewan McGregor back to do it is still pretty exciting to me. It was like in the fandom, it was a big thing, you know, when the concept for an Obi-Wan show began. I think it was basically like when we knew Disney were going to be making spin-offs. Like the instant Rogue One was announced, the concept of doing one-off stories in the Star Wars universe about different characters became a whole, like, speculative thing. We wanted Boba Fett, we wanted Obi-Wan, and when we said we wanted Obi-Wan, they have to get Ewan McGregor back, or else fuck off. Like, no, I don't want to see Chris Pratt be cast as Obi-Wan. And it became, we just speculated for ages, and you can see all these interviews where people ask Ewan McGregor, they're like, so how do you feel about the chance of returning as Obi-Wan? He says, well, they haven't asked me yet, but, you know, I'd love to return and play the character again, so, you know, I'll keep my ears open, but I haven't heard anything. And you know this man is already signed the papers, he is ready to do it, he has professed his interest many times, Disney were already writing the contracts, it was happening, but it wasn't confirmed for a while, and then suddenly you get the news, the Obi-Wan series is happening, and you're like, ugh. Oh my god, Venom ASMR? Oh, that's a fun idea.
Eddie.
What's a Venom? What's a Venom line? I can do a good Venom voice. Venom quotes. Oh god, these are so cheesy.
We are Venom.
I love Venom too. The way they end it, like, you know, putting sand between their toes on the beach. Mary with 50 gifted members! Thank you so much, buddy. That's super kind of you. Shine, Itsuriti, Yuki Nya, Nekosaka, and Kat Kitoshi. Thank you very much, and people. Rewatching Breaking Bad. I'm thinking maybe I won't rewatch Breaking Bad and I'll just move straight on to Better Call Saul, because I still haven't seen Better Call Saul. And I'm really excited to watch it. Like, I keep getting recommended clips from Breaking Bad, and in the comments, there are people talking about scenes from Better Call Saul, and I'm like, huh? It just keeps adding, like, more and more context to this story, which was already incredible. And my favorite thing about Breaking Bad is, like, how well what its longevity is like. I mean, how long it's stayed around, you know? Like, there's so much of it that just keeps going, and the last episode was in 2013, almost 10 years ago, and yet it keeps popping up in memes. Have you guys seen the edit from Genshin where it's Walter White doing a bunch of Genshin things, like he tries to grab one of the, like, Animoculus or whatever it is from the top of the thing with a broom, and then he falls off, and then it's him driving the boat around Liyue Harbor and all that kind of shit? I think that shit is so funny. Like, the amount of things that, and the fact that Walter White going, like, that sort of shocked and like grieving face that he has during one of the most intense scenes in the entire show is now just one of the most hilarious images. Like, you just use that image of Walter White going, oh, you just use that for anything. Like, something mildly inconvenient happens, like, oh, I can't find my shoe. It's fucking fantastic. I adore what they're able to do with that show. I really should, like, have my phone on me right now. I have this strange fear that they're gonna randomly show up early. Bum 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 bum. I do like the idea. I do like the idea of doing. The thing is like, I guess I would have to worry about fucking copyright if we were to do Star Wars themed ASMR, but I like the idea of being a Sith Lord. Either having you as my apprentice, or what if you're a Jedi who's been sent to kill me and then I tempt you with the ways of the dark side and then we fuck and it's brilliant, you know? Like, there's so much you can do with a concept like that. I would need to run it by management probably and be like, hey, yo, like, do you want to, like, can I try this? As long as I don't use music and stuff like that. But I think it'd be pretty cool. Enemies to lovers enemies to friends, enemies to lovers has always been at its strongest in Star Wars. Whether someone joins the dark side or whether a dark side person gets redeemed, it's always exciting. It's always exciting to see it happen. And I don't know. I just love the themes they have in Star Wars. They're so much fun. Joxan, Mango, thank you very much. And Chehua, thank you for the Akasupa. Lucky to have been here where I've been. You've made it easier when my life gets hard. Happy birthday! Mwah! Happy birthday. I hope you have a lovely, lovely birthday. Nah, I would go all the way. Mary, I would go all the way, because if you have, like, if I started, like, changing the names a little bit, I feel like people might find it a little, I don't know, a little unbelievable. A little bit like, really? You know, like, I don't know if people really go for that. But it's an idea. If I had the choice of doing something silly like that or not doing it at all, you know. Also, speaking of gifted members, we have a very exciting watch-along this week. A little earlier in the day, we will be watching Phantom Thread, which, as if you watched my movie Zatsudan, you'll know is my third favorite film, and we already got fan art for it. Like, before I even announced, Lemire drew a really nice sort of interpretation of the poster with me and Voxan instead of Reynolds and Alma, and I'm very excited for you guys to watch that film, because it is one of my favorites for a reason. It's one of my favorites for a reason. I adore that film. I mean, I've been over it. And you know, maybe there's a reason why I don't like omelets that much, but, you know. I'm excited for you guys who haven't seen it yet to watch it for the first time. It's a very, very good film, and I'm really excited to get to cozy up. We can have a little cuddle and we can watch it together. I think it's going to be really, really nice. We're having a good time today. This is a relaxing stream. This is a relaxing stream. I'm just wondering where... I guess we can't really talk about where we would take the ASMR universe after the Dragon one, because I feel like that's sort of, you know, maybe we... You know, I wouldn't want to get in spoiler territory. Pifo, Andrew M, and Yu, thank you very much. No, not on every Saturday. So the reason why I sort of changed it around is because the ASMR is happening on the day that I'm having the visit from my fam. And so I wouldn't want to do Under the Table on that day because I don't want them to show up and I'm pissed drunk. I think that would be a little embarrassing. Also, I can confirm that the schedule says guest to be determined, but as of yesterday, I have determined who the guest will be. Our guest on Under the Table this week is my lovely kohai, Scarla Yonaguni. She is going to be the one joining me this week. And so I'm really excited because she's been going on and on and on about how, like, y'all don't want to see a drunk stream from me. And it's like, well, they're going to see. They're going to see what it is. I'm her first drunk stream will be carefully monitored on my format. And so hopefully we'll get to learn a little bit more about one of my kohais and we'll be able to have a nice chat, which should be a lot of fun. She will break me, will she? Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, we're gonna be fighting. I figured it would be good because what is it about like that talk show where I've had as of this week I will have had 2 guests on, both of which argue about desperately wanting to be tops, and I'm just like, It's the thing. We'll probably wind up talking about this when we get in it, but the age-old adage is that one who denies being a bottom is a bottom. That's just how it's decided. If someone calls you a bottom and you're like, no, I'm not a bottom, that means you're a bottom. It's just how it works. I don't make the rules. I think it's you guys who make the rules. You know, as soon as someone outs themselves as being bothered by a certain type of joke, then they get that shit twice as often and they will never escape from it. I think that's one of the... Thank you for the super, by the way, ASMR Healing. And CN, thank you. Wasn't originally a fan of ASMR. One mentioned the previous one completely blew me away. That's good. That's good. I wonder if I could find a way of, like, differentiating which ASMR will be like which. SS, thank you. Nachishi, thank you so much for the Aka Super. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry you've been having a hard time, but I hope you get well soon, okay? Yes, thank you very much. That's the thing that I've been enjoying so much. Well, sorry, so many questions at once. So, the whole thing about... Cyanide, thank you very much. What am I trying to say here? Sylvain, thank you. What am I... Yes, and before I move on, yeah, being a bottom is not a bad thing, guys. And we can bully each other for it, but you have to remember that when we bully each other, we're co-workers, we're friends, and it's all done in good fun. Like, don't genuinely try to harass someone for their sexual preferences, right? Like, that's pretty rude. Just let people be who they want to be. And, you know... Makes me pretty upset. I mean, obviously it's fun to tease people, but at the same time we do that in good fun, right? It's not supposed to be something where we're genuinely trying to belittle anybody. Huma and Sylvain, thank you very much. Lemon Soda, thank you for the Aka Super. I'm a voice actor, and you inspire me a lot. I used to be stuck in self-doubt, and now everything goes well. Thank you, me cute. Oh, thank you. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Essentially, I'm really happy that yesterday's ASMR went well because it's what I've been talking about for ages, and I think Ike and I have a similar taste in this sense. My favorite works of art and stories are the ones that go out of their way to convey a specific emotion and have the audience feel that emotion fully. Crystal, thank you for the Aka Super. What does a top act like when getting called a bottom? I don't know. I think they just kind of laugh. They're just like, huh, and they just kind of move on, you know? Fantastic, bro. Thank you for the super. I should make ASMR playlists. Like, that was another question. Is that it would be good if I could sort of help people find ASMR which are going to be to their taste. Because I know that some people might only be interested in the super sussy ones, whereas other people might be kind of triggered by the super sussy ones and want to watch something a little bit more easier to digest, something soft. So right now I think we've got 3 main genres of ASMR. We have sexy, we have soft, and we have story. Sexy, soft, story. Triple S. Just on the tier list, that's where the ASMR sits. It's triple S, sexy, soft, and story. So I should probably make like a little like denotation for what I intend each one to be like. Zen, thank you very much. But then also with the element of improv, I wouldn't want to give a warning and then be wrong. So maybe I should like do the ASMR and then categorize it afterwards. Some of them, when I go in, I know they're going to be sus. Like the officer one, that was sus from moment one. There was never going to be a universe where that one was soft or story based. That one was you get slapped around and you get your ass bitten in a jail cell by a big tall man for 24 hours straight, and then you die. Like that. Like there's no way that wasn't what it was going to be. And I'm actually really pleased that of all ASMR, that one is the one that has the most views. Like I check on this quite often, and it's pretty fun. Well, actually, it's not true. In terms of the role play ASMR, it's the officer one. But in actuality, in terms of just ASMR that I've done, the most popular video or stream I've ever done was my very first ASMR stream. When I very first got the microphone and I just sat there and flustered you guys for a little bit. That was the first one I ever did. And then after that, it's the sleepy type one, where I went in wanting to be sus, and then I was like, you know what, no, I'm feeling soft today, and then we all slept together, and you guys can feel my heartbeats, and my tummy grumbled, and all that kind of shit. And then after that, oh, of course, it's the office one. Of course it is. And then after that, it's the study ASMR, then it's boyfriend, then there's a bit of a gap, and then it's box tenshi, and then right after that is the doctor one. Then it's the ancient one. Then it's the second boyfriend one. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking through my old videos and I'm getting nostalgic. I really should go back to that old stream format I had where it was like just playing Smash with my ASMR mic and no gameplay on screen so that you could just listen to me mold. Meowie, thank you for the super. Oh, 2 of 4. Hang on. I must have missed something. Box Tenchi sequel? I'm thinking about it, yeah. If there is a Box Tenchi sequel, it involves tentacles. Belated congrats on 1 mil. Me love. Thanks for the reason why I met the most funny, sexy, and talented people on Earth. The Kindred are like that, aren't they? Gremlin, thank you very much. Oh, and Benny, thank you for 50 gifted members. I'm missing a lot of shit, I'm sorry. Zen, thank you for 5 gifted members. And Jock-san, thank you for the super. Let's keep reading through this. Just want to shout out to everyone in the VVC project team who was running with me in the Project Olympics. Yeah, you guys did insane. I really was not expecting everything to go as, like, I was expecting, like, oh, you know, people are rushed. I don't want them to worry about it. Like, they'll get it eventually, but if there are less projects than for the birthday, I wouldn't be surprised. But no, you guys really turned out in force. There were even more, I think, than the birthday, which I was not expecting. You guys did ridiculously well. Vegan, thank you. Kinoko, thank you. Tokito, thank you for 50 gifted members. Gio, thank you for the super as well. Happy birthday. Mwah. Meowie, again, you're our muse that inspires us to keep creating and even go beyond our own personal limits. I didn't think I'd organize fan projects because of simping, but here we are. Just be self-aware and acknowledge what it is that you enjoy doing. Wet gloves, thank you for the super. 5 minutes of wet kisses when? Eventually. I'll cave eventually. Thank you, Meowie. That's super sweet of you. Michelle KK, thank you for the 4 supers. Denny and Basil, thank you guys for the supers. Is Box Tenchi an angel? Yes, yes, he is an angel. He's either an angel or he's like, well, I guess he's more of like, in the ASMR, he's more of like a priest, a vicar, or something similar. Peepo, thank you very much. Loki waiting for sleep aid ASMR. I should do that, shouldn't I? Morgan Mullen, thank you very much. I should do that. I think I will do sleep aid when I figure out my sound situation. So, I think yesterday I figured it out. I think with enough ambient sound, and if you don't have the mic up too loud, fan noise and room noise is not such a big deal. But I can still do better than that. So I've been looking into options for like studio bricks and like a booth like Ike has. I've been thinking I might set one of those up if I have the space. And then inside that, I can make that just where I do ASMR, and I can have that be like a little corner where I get in there with like I just connect my keyboard with a long cable to my computer, and I just feed it through a little hole, and then I would sit in there and do ASMR instead of you know, having it out in the open like I do right now. So Sari, thank you. Morgan Mullen, thank you. Nechi, thank you. Why did I ask about your Kindred Sonus? No reason. No reason. You'll see. You'll see. Mars Caspian, thank you. Summer, thank you very much. Does Box Tentacle have... Box Tentacle? have milk like Vilk? I don't know, maybe. Why don't you ask him? We're practically at double the Kindred there were at your birthday. That is true. That is true. And it's difficult to really process how many of you there are now. But... here we are. Can I take away his PS5? Hey, it's set in medieval times in a fantasy universe. PS5s don't exist. Christmas, thank you for the super, and Deraru's World, and people, thank you very much. The booth, the box of sin. Aye, that we can. I'm not acting sus. There's nothing sus about it. There's nothing... No, it's all completely normal. Just don't worry about it, you'll see. Yeah. What the fuck? I just saw a video of somebody Photoshop Mario into a little Among Us character. Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway. What? What happened? My mic is fine. What happened? No, that's me doing... That's a sound effect. That's the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sound effect. Reinhardt's Matilda, thank you very much. Just trying to think. Yeah, no worries, guys. The mic is fine. It's just Dwayne.
Baba Bowie.
I will never stop being ridiculous. This is who I enjoy. This is who I wish to be. Angie, thank you very much. Yeah, I think I'm starting to wonder, like, what is the right direction to take my ASMR in the future? Because, like, it seems like the night one is really, like, connecting with people. And that makes me happy because I love fantasy. I love storytelling in that sort of a context. There's so much that I love about it. And I'm wondering if maybe, like, taking... The thing is like... God, it's difficult to say. Because I wouldn't want to change it in a way that alienates people who enjoyed previous ASMR. I guess it's just about having different themes every week. Like, one week we do this, one week we do that. Or maybe doing ASMR more than once a week. Maybe I should just have, like, Sussy Sundays or something. Wait, Sussy Sundays is already a thing. That's Toast's Among Us thing. Anyway, but, I mean, you know, like, maybe ASMR on Sunday is sus, and maybe ASMR on another day, like midweek or Saturday or something, is, like, plot-related. It'll be a lot of work, but then I do enjoy making ASMR, so... I guess it would be down to coming up with enough ideas, because I just enjoy this fantasy setting. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's a chance for me to just sit there and like tell a real story, you know, and to get to like come up with something and really flex my creative muscles. So, I don't know. I'll think about it. Among Us ASMR when? Hey baby, you looking kind of sus. Wouldn't wanna think you're the imposter, would we? I won't tell anybody if you do everything I tell you to do, alright? Multiple ASMRs a week seems tough. Yes, definitely. But I don't know. I'd be tempted to give it a try. We also don't do very much of like Zatsudan with ASMR mic, do we? Like, there's a lot of room for that kind of thing. Where like the drunk ASMR we did, I had a lot of fun with that. I want to do more shit like that, you know. Even though I got in trouble last time, but like whatever. If I get in trouble for being who I am, then so be it. Did you mix sleep aid with fantasy? Forest Guardian. Ooh. Oh, that's a really... I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down. Forest Guardian. I think that's really sweet. I think that's a very good idea. I would make that one... I would make Forest Guardian, like, super soft. I would make that, like, nothing remotely sexual is happening. It's, like, head pats and, like... Please, my child, find rest among the stars and all of that. Zatsuscape with ASMR mic, you tempt me. Oh, you temptress. Playing RuneScape? I kind of want to play RuneScape right now, to be honest. Forest Guardian ASMR. I'm very keen on that idea. That sounds super sweet. After Dragon, I think you guys will need something soft. So, yeah. It means I'm the Lorax! No! Hey, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. And the trees... And I'd like to... something else, if you please. Where's the opening for the Lorax? I'll never get over the fact that the one part of the Lorax that I genuinely enjoy is just him popping out of the stomach going... making just Danny DeVito noises when seeing just the death of a beautiful creature. Cried all night, I'm sorry. Bye, Lakura, thank you for the Aka Super. Yes, you've earned lots and lots of kisses. I will be reading the fan project next week. I need once I've got a free day, no other responsibilities to worry about. I will sit down and we'll have a long stream getting through as much of it as we can. Yukinya, thank you very much. Oh, I love the book. I get goosebumps when I read the book. It's a children's book, and I get goosebumps when I read it because it's that good. Because Dr. Seuss, the way he rhymes is fucking beautiful. It's just so, like, funky and exciting, but also poetic and interesting. Also, need I fucking remind you... I'm gonna go on about this again, because you guys reminded me of it. I'm gonna go out of my way again. We've watched it together at this point. The Lorax ends, the movie ends with like a car chase and a song and a musical number, and everything is okay, and everyone has learned their lesson, and it's fucking ridiculous. The book ends at that scene where the Onceler hands the boy the seed, and he says, "So catch," calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water and feed it fresh air, grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack, and then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. And that's it. You are given a soft, sullen moment where there is a little bit of hope in a dark world for you, the listener, to do the right thing. That is good. That is a great story, and I will go on about how terribly it was butchered by the film till the day I die. Sussy teacher ASMR? I mean, I'll probably get cancelled for it again, but it would be hard, wouldn't it? It would be odd. No, I would do that. I would totally do that. We've had soft teacher ASMR where it's just me like kind of idly flirting with you while you study. But like, no, I can do that. I can do that. God, I was cruel for playing the night sound effects, the night music at the beginning. That was cruel of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you a film nerd? But are you a book nerd? No. I'm sorry, but I can't read. I'm illiterate. I want to read more, but finding the time to sit down and read is so difficult. I don't know. When I try and sit down to read, I love books, but finding the time to read is becoming increasingly difficult, and I wish that I could just get past it and I could just make myself read something, but I'm a dumbass. Mini Maker, thank you for the super, Stella, and A2ZA. Can we have an analog horror ASMR? Whoa. Saki Kuge, that is an interesting idea. An interesting idea indeed. Hold on. Because I can show you a little bit of how this Schust program works. And it does have something that would fit within the format of analog horror. Hang on. I'll boot it up real quick. Let's load up something fairly innocuous. How about this one? Oh. Where is it gone? Okay, hold on. So, wait a minute. I should have to make sure this isn't going to do anything silly. That should be fine. So, hold the phone. There we go. So, it's basically... Oh, look, there are two of me. So, it's this really lovely little program that, in the grand scheme of things, is dead simple in how you can make some really cool looking stuff. And if you guys want to use it for yourself, if you're a VTuber and you've got your own projects in mind, it's got a Patreon. So if you look up Schust, which is SHOOST, you can look it up and then you can support them as well and get access to all of these really good creative tools. So for example, he's back. I shouldn't be cruel. You know what? I'll get rid of this so that you guys don't like have a mental breakdown. But yes, so basically if I was to do analog horror, you've got all these different settings here, and so there's one which is like this. Right? And it makes me look like all VHS-y, or like, yeah, like this is more VHS-y, and I can sort of be like, if you're watching this tape, I'm probably dead. Rosetta, thank you. Ice, thank you. And there are all these tools that I've actually never had the chance to use yet. Got a flare thingy here that changes like the color of things. I'll make that black so that I can sort of blend in with the background. You know what? Let's try and make an analog horror setup right now. Let's just try and see how that works. So you've got like, hang on a minute. Let's see if there's anything on my computer that I can use as that kind of. Oh yes. Here is a picture of Baba. It's not loading for some reason. Oh, it's not right. Okay, it's not loading because I'm not chroma keyed properly. Hold on. I'm gonna have to hold on. I'm gonna have to hide myself for real quick if I want to add a background. Hold Hold on. Ah, where'd I go? Ah, where'd I go? Hold on. Oh my god, this is so convincing. Hello, Chakun. This is so cursed. So now what we have is me with a VHS Baba in the background. I can get out of the way, so it's just me and him hanging out. See, that really does look like analog horror. That's terrifying. Oh my god. You can play around the background pretty easily, so we can have Baba fading out into the background. We can have a little bit of shake on the camera, so that when I move like this, it kind of moves the background around, makes it a little more dynamic. You got a lot of different tools to use, and I think it's like a real lifesaver, considering how much I want to do with ASMR and how easy this program is to use. Pan follow. Then you can click this, and it goes like, "Buh." Hey, Baba. Mwah, my boy, my baby boy. Color filter. Oh, yes. Maybe we can, like, change the color a little bit. Whoa. I guess blue is kind of... yeah. Ooh. Or maybe green. Oh, very FNAF 3. I like that. Very FNAF 3. Okay. Contrast up a little bit. Oh, yes. Oh. Well, that's kind of hot, actually. My silhouette. Look at that. If you're watching this tape, I'm probably...
Ah! No, it's too bright.
So yes, that's kind of how Shoost works. I'm just fucking around with it at this point. Camera shake intensity. Ah! Everybody, there's an earthquake. You gotta get out of here right now. Why are you getting scared of Baba? He's adorable, isn't he? Oh, he's fantastic. I love him. So that's just kind of how it works. Like, you get to play around with backgrounds and stuff, and I think one of the most exciting things I can, one of the most, like, one of the easiest parts of making something work with this is how easy it is for backgrounds to, like, you know, show off, for the backgrounds to work with what's in front. So, hold on. Yeah, let me get the campfire. Yeah, there we go. There's the campfire from last night. If we take that off, then we're back in the scene of devastation. And so then what you can do is just sort of fiddle around with the colors and stuff like that. So maybe if we turn it like sort of orangey. Like, for example, orange flare, right? That's brown. That's like poop brown. There we go. Wait, let's make it more red a little bit. And then we'll just angle it so that it's coming from over there. Make it a little more intense. And change the color filter to something sort of reminiscent of this. And suddenly you've got something that looks a little more convincing than if you just put it together in OBS on its own. So it's cool. It's very cool. FNAF Night Guard ASMR. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. There was a time a while ago when... Do you remember I put mystery ASMR on my thumbnail, on my schedule once? That was going to be that. I was going to do a thing where I made assets where I would have showed up in the corridors in FNAF 1 and been like... But then I just sort of thought, like, how do I drag that out to 2 hours? Like, I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I'll bring it back, like, and to surprise everybody at some point, but I don't know if I can really do that. Thank you for the Akasupa. I cried so much. Good. I'm glad you connected with the story. Wolfman ASMR. Ooh, that could be a step later. But yes, I've had enough fucking around with Shungite for today. Incubus and milk. Oh, I'll never forget the old milkman prompt. The old milkman prompt. I'm afraid the milk company has run out of milk, ma'am. May I borrow some of yours? That'd be the first ASMR that we do that is like strictly, you know, obviously it's difficult to make that completely gender neutral, but we can certainly try. You know, it's either I guess when I say I'd like some of your milk, it can either refer to breast milk or cum. So it could work. It could work. I'll have to think about it. That'd be like an April Fool's ASMR one. Like I can't make that one sound serious. Marikine, thank you. Really horror-esque ASMR for Halloween. Oh yes, I mean after the vampire one, I feel pretty well prepared for that. I saw, what was it? I saw a random tweet somewhere about like zombie Vox ASMR where it was like, yeah, detachable dick or something like that. We could definitely do something like that for Halloween. Sussy and primal werewolf ASMR. Oh my goodness. I could do like a like a sort of a decently sort of husky werewolf voice, I imagine. Maybe without the reverb and a little sort of like voice effect. Hang on.
Don't try to run from me.
That's a pretty convincing werewolf voice, isn't it? Oh no, people are gonna want me to do Omega, but no, never, not happening.
Reggie?
Reggie? I guess if you just turn it down like that, that's how that works. Thank you very much. I can't read your name, but thank you for the Arca Super with your ASMR under the table. Looking forward to your next time. Yay! That's super exciting. Thank you very much. Like, Scoob, I feel like I only just used 0.1% of my power, dude. I guess, okay, I can differentiate, because the Smaug voice is done with lots of reverb, and then the werewolf one is sort of like, you know. I reckon I could do that. I've made aggressive biting sound effects on stream before, so it's not exactly difficult. Ayo, thank you for the Akasupa, but please talk more about Lord of the Rings and Tolkien if you want. Put some Elvish ASMR on the schedule. Ooh. I love the sort of ethereal music from like the Elvish locations, like Rivendell and all that kind of stuff. So being able to find music from RuneScape like that, and then sort of like being able to put that together would be pretty fun. And it's like maybe I'm the elf king in the woods and you've trespassed, and I'm like, why does one of human blood enter my humble hall? State your business, and perhaps I shall resist the urge to kill thee slowly. Thranduil, ooh, Thranduil, goodness me. I love the way that this, like, minor villain in The Hobbit is introduced like a sex appeal character. Like, all of the shots just introducing him with his hands, his eyes first. Like, that's typically how a love interest is introduced, and it's pretty cool. What are some Thranduil quotes? I can read those out. Hold on. Such is the nature of evil. Out there in the vast ignorance of the world, it festers and spreads, a shadow that grows in the dark, a sleepless malice as black as the oncoming wall of night. Oh yeah, and he does that thing with like his face where he gets mad and you can like see the flesh on him. Do not talk to me of dragon fire. I know its wrath and ruin. Oh my. Oh my. Lee Pace. My man. My man. Michiko, thank you very much for the super, and Arabella as well. Aura, thank you for the Yaka super. Oh, thank you. Mad Scientist ASMR. You know, that would be a good one for Halloween. What if instead of like, oh, and Renzoto's knees. Thank you for the super. Soft Librarian ASMR. Oh, that'd be lovely. I'm picking up lots of different ideas. So, BP, thank you very much for the super. Good night, kiss. Good night, sleep well. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting idea. Like, I'm the mad scientist. What if you, the listener, are a brain in a jar, and I'm speaking to you as I'm trying to, like, build you a body, or something like that. And I'm getting super, like, perverted about it and trying to make you beautiful and all of that. But I'm also fucked up and mad, and it's not going to work. Phoenix Jihang, thank you for the super. Psychopath Killer ASMR. Oh my goodness, I could do that too. We could have like a whole, for the month of October, we could have like one Halloweeny ASMR a week. Yuki Leong, thank you very much for a super. Because there are so many different ideas. We've got Werewolf, we've got Mad Scientist, we've got like a Psycho Killer. We could do like a whole yandere thing for that. Springtrap. Michael! Don't leave me here! Michael! Michael! Thank you very much, Gristle, for the Arca Super. Good evening, my lord. I passed the final interview of my dream job today. Congratulations! And the encouragement, I wouldn't have had the courage to quit my last boring job. Good luck with your new life. It's all going to be up from here. I'm so proud of you. Kidiva, thank you for the super. Interstellar Barista ASMR is a nice idea. Ice, thank you. Summer, thank you. Yuki Leon, thank you. Jewel Thief ASMR. Oh my. Steal the most valuable jewel, which is you. Oh. So it's like you're being held in a museum. And then... You're being held in a museum, and then I kind of drop down, and I'm like, ah, I found you. And then I have to try and like get you out and all that kind of stuff. That's a pretty fun idea. Failed necromancy. Oh my god. You guys have such great ideas. Act like Germa the entire time. Yeah, I mean, I would act like Germa, but unlike Germa, I haven't driven a bus into a family of 3, so, like, you know. That man's a method actor. Gotta hand it to Germa for just killing real people. But, you know, I don't think that's really on the cards for me. Hayako, Nakatya, Chloette, thank you very much. Astrid, thank you very much. And Pats, thank you for the Akasupo. Good morning. Thank you for making my workday start happily as if I'm with a friend. That's super sweet of you. Thank you. Your streams always put me at ease and I love them. And you dearly. Happy birthday. Oh, Pats, happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck at work or whatever you're going to today. And I really hope that it works out well. Lore ASMR? There's always a chance. There's always a chance. I'm hesitant to reveal more of my real story through ASMR because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get anything wrong. I don't want to contradict myself and forget things and stuff like that. Celia, thank you. Thanks, Shihang. But with enough planning, definitely, we can do something like that. Edward Cullen, we already did have a vampire one. I like the vampire one. You know, the bit about the vampire one that, like, stuck in my head the most was... What was it? The bit about the vampire one that really stuck in my head was the one bit about, like, I guess getting a little spicy here. The bit about, like, the whole predator-prey dynamic and the whole, like, I'd hunt you through the halls. And then, I don't know, I came up with it on the spot. I 100% came up with it off the top of my head. I did not hear it from a movie or anything. I just came up with this idea that I was like, yes, I would bite down on your mouth and tear off your head, which is... I was like, damn! That's hot. And then I said it, and I was like, sheesh. You know, that, like, I don't know. I should have came up with it. Jenny, Alex, thank you for the super. See, my favorite thing about meeting you guys has been coming to understand how weird your tastes are, but also understanding why. Like, when I first got into this job, I never would have thought that me doing a very detailed, immersive ASMR where I talk about tearing your head off would get people a little bit hot under the collar. But now that I am, it's just so normal to me now. I'm really not surprised at all. I love water. Yay. Should we be worried? No. Peepo, thank you for the super. Good luck. Good luck with your job interview. I hope that goes well for you. And Hannah, thank you very much as well. We will. Thank you. Again, Xuan, thank you. Good night. Oh yeah, by the way, this week, Luxiem collab happening again. I'm really fucking glad. It was Luca's idea this time. And I'm really fucking glad that we're getting together and doing more collabs as a group. I felt like for a while we didn't do much. We didn't do all that much together, and I really missed it. You know, those guys are just one of a kind, and I'm really glad that we're getting a chance to spend more time together. So I'm really looking forward to that collab. I think it's going to be so much fun, and yeah, just look forward to us playing around with swords and shit. I also got some new cereal recently. It's called Magic Spoon. Wow. It's called Magic Spoon. I saw an ad for it on, I don't know if you guys watch Adam Ragusia. He's a cooking channel. He's very good. There was an ad for it, and it's basically like, why should cereal for adults have to taste like shit? And I was like, damn. Yeah, why is that? Because when I first moved here, I had one box of cereal. Fucking bran flakes. Very bland. Very brand, if you will. If you can even understand that level of comedy. Ian Chestnut with the heart, thank you for the Arca, thank you for the Arca super. Arabella, thank you for the super. That is sweet, actually. I'm sorry, thank you. So sorry. That is a sweet idea, actually. Giving Kindred little head pats and being like, oh, he's a good boy, and then just like, ah. I could get like a little bit of fabric to rub as though I'm like stroking your head and shit like that. Aww. But yeah. And so this company they've made... Yeah, Antiosta, thank you for another Arca Super. Thank you so much. This company, they've made this cereal which is like high protein, low carbs, low sugar, low fat and everything. So it's super good for you, but it actually tastes good. It tastes like chocolate, and like they sent me a bunch of different boxes with there's a frosted flavor, there's like a chocolate flavor, and I'm having the frosted flavor right now and I really like it. I saw someone mention that they can't stop thinking about the knight calling himself Kindred and calling you his lord, and I mean it when I say I came up with that. I was doing, so every time I do ASMR, I'll do a run-through. You know, if anyone's ever been in theater, you do a run-through days before your, or like every day when you rehearse, you would do a run-through of like, of the whole play. And to make sure that everyone's got their lines, everyone's got their, you know, tech checks are doing all that kind of stuff. So before I do it, I do a run-through. And I sort of like, I check the scene transitions are working, I check that the different ambience is working, and it's all, you know, so that we don't run into tech issues halfway through. And literally, I booted up the first scene, and I just like, I'll say a line, and I literally came out with, "Ah, my lord, I am your humble Kindred," and I just opened my eyes, I was like, ah. Oh, they're gonna love that, and then I just decided to keep it, and I was like, shit, that's clever, and then I just sort of ran with it the entire time. I think it was a really clever idea, though, because, I mean, you know, there are similarities to my real history, and I figured that would make it a little more powerful, in a way, so I just kind of decided to stick with it. What does kindred mean? Well, to my understanding, it is like in a spiritual sense that you feel connected to. It's typically used as the phrase kindred spirits, and I believe it is a word used to describe two that are pretty much of the same cloth. It's, you know, I would use it as a word that describes found family more than anything else. You know, that's what that word means to me. And that's why I decided, you know, I figured you guys being called Kindred. No, you know, for my fan name, no puns, no nothing like that. I think Kindred is a pretty powerful word to use because, I mean, my goal in joining NIJISANJI was to rebuild a clan full of Kindred that I had lost. And I think Kindred meaning as a term sort of expressing found family as a concept, I think that's why I chose that name. I think it's very important that we feel like a family because, I mean, you know, when you spend 400 years without one, it can be nice to sort of build one up that's of this incredible size. Rumi, thank you very much for the super. Eden, Paprika Liu, so sorry, thank you. It reminds me of your debut lore, but we switched the roles. Yeah, I actually realized that sort of halfway through, and I thought, oh god, you know, this is pretty sad, but hey, all the better, right? Faded Sigh, White Gloves, Maru Maru, thank you very much. Get more Zatsudan like that? Yeah, I'd love that. Maybe we can do another one where I talk about my favorite games. You know? I don't really know what my favorite games would be. It's difficult to say. I mean, RuneScape, obviously. From sort of years past. I used to be a big fan of platformers back in the day. Would it be games that you've played a lot of, or games that kind of had a personal impact on you? Witchbolt Alice, Puddin Tao Fufa, thank you. Eating, thank you very much. Rebecca M, thank you. Stella, who cares, thank you very much. Piltcat, thank you very much as well. An honor to be your kindred, and it is an honor to be yours. Mwah. Personal impact, yeah, Reinhardt, thank you for the super, and Nami, thank you very much as well. Crystal, thank you for the Arca super. My lord, I was diagnosed with kiss deficiency. Oh, I'm sorry. Training ASMR. Now that is a good idea. Perhaps the kindred or the listener from the night ASMR decides to take revenge and is trained by another variant of me in combat. Ooh. Ooh. I'm writing that one down as well. I would need to get some kind of like... I need to get some weapons for that one. I would need to get some... It'd be interesting because the thing about the ASMR mic is that it gets blown out so easily because it's so sensitive. So I don't know how I would practice with weapons into an ASMR mic, but I'll think about it. I'll think about it. What kind of training? I was figuring like combat training, you know, like practicing to take revenge and shit like that. Also, give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna go grab my phone because I feel I'm just scared that the TV is they're gonna call me at any moment, and I'll be like, ugh. No call of the sort yet, so I haven't missed shit. Very good. Just gonna take a quick look. I'm very excited. Finally gonna get just going to like the I'm getting a cool new TV. Yay. I'm gonna get to watch movies. Yay. Okay, hold on. No. Oh, never mind. Oh, but personal trainer ASMR. Now listen. Oh. The outfits people wear to the gym tend to be really sexy, okay? So, I mean, I can see why people would want that. I really can. It would probably be pretty nice, you know? I'm thinking, my brain is going places. Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Stop! I'm fine. Stop! I'm completely fine.
Stop thinking about
leggings. No, no, I've said it. No. I don't even know what to do now. I kind of want to play some RuneScape. Do some woodcutting or something like that. Ivy, Persephone, thank you very much. Oh god. Oh god, Persephone, you're going a little close to home. Stop! Stop! Stop it! Koya, thank you. Stop! Stop making me think about it! Stop it! So rude of you. So rude. So rude making me think about those things. You watched Marriage Story today. It's really good. Thank you for the recommendation. Fuck me, I love that film to absolute death and back. Astacant, thank you very much. Back to woodcutting. Top Ramen, thank you. Shu, thank you. And a name I can't read, thank you. Mwah. Gordon Ramsay ASMR. Now that is one I would do for April Fools. Just sort of whisper into the mic. Excuse me. Yeah. Is that frozen? That salmon. Has that been frozen? It's fucking idiot. What are you? Tell me. You're an idiot sandwich. Yes. That's right, you fucking idiot. Yeah, get back in the kitchen and do it fucking properly. Some way, somehow, I imagine you guys would genuinely find that hard. Getting cussed out in whispers by Gordon Ramsay. I would just need to get a copyright. Can I? Because the way that I get my assets for stream is I use Adobe Stock, because that's how you have like a license to use them commercially, right? So, is there an image of Gordon Ramsay that I can find? There's a piece of clip art of him, but no, I don't think you can get a picture of his face and the commercial license to use his likeness, which is pretty unbased, to be honest. You can get a little, like, sort of Gordon Ramsay looking clip art thingy, which is not ideal. I'd need to rely on one of you guys making some art of Gordon Ramsay. Sorry, chef, I thought cold water was supposed to boil faster than hot water. What? Look at how much spaghetti's in the bin! Look at it! Look! I just love the way that his voice breaks sometimes. It's fucking fantastic. Stop making me think about yoga pants, please. Beans. Stop it. I'm trying to do a Zatsudan here. I'm not trying to go silly mode at this current juncture.
Stop! Stop tempting me!
It's fine. It's fine. We'll move on. We'll move on. Well, what do we move on to? I'm at a terrible juncture right now. Shout you. Thank you very much for the super. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm at a terrible juncture at the moment because with a Zatsudan, you talk to chat, and all chat wants to do right now is fluster me. Talking about fucking yoga pants. Stop it. Cooking stream. Yeah. No, I've had an idea. So you know how there's the culinary cookbook, which some lovely fans put together for my million subscriber thing. It was released a little after the stream, so I wasn't able to look at it in the moment. Nanrin, thank you very much. Rizu, thank you for the Akasupa. For refreshing to be called Lord by my lord. Oh, very good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. But yeah, like, what I want to do is have it on the stream where we analyze and take a look at those different elements. What I do want to do is choose a recipe and then make it. So I imagine we choose a recipe from the book, and then make it on stream with handcam again. Because I haven't done handcam since my first week I moved here. And I'd like to do a little bit more, because it's always a bit of fun. Lunaria, thank you for the super. I love the amount of fan art we're getting for the night ASMR. It makes me super happy. My favorite one is from at entanv, and you can find it if you look it up on the Akarylic tag on Twitter. It's of him in all his armor with his horse giving like a happy little wave, and everyone's like, oh, he doesn't know, stop him. What would you do with a time machine? What would you do with a time machine? No, it's a trap, don't go, don't go. Ivy, thank you for the super. Yeah, you know, it's a thing where I think that sometimes with ASMR, like, a lot of the legwork is to do with sort of figuring out how to make an idea that people aren't already sold on and get them interested in it, right? And that's difficult because I think a lot of the work that you do as a YouTuber is following current trends, right? A lot of your work as a YouTuber is just guessing what people already like and then doing more of that. And that's good in some ways because we have to make so much content in a week that, you know, the only real way that we can keep up is by just following trends. Setting new ones, that's a different story. With the night one, I'm pretty sure from its announcement, I don't think that it had as much hype behind it as something like Vampire, Boyfriend, Butler, whatever. But I think through, like, focusing on the storytelling aspects of it, it really sort of, like, took over and people became interested. And I think that's kind of my goal with the rest of the ASMRs, is that I wanna prove to people that the format that I'm doing will work, and if I have an interesting idea, I want to push it out and make it work. You know, and doing ones that people suggest that are always going to be popular, yeah, you know, that can work, but there's there's more that there's more to be done, and I want to convince people of new ideas that they might not have thought of before, you know. Person who fixes dolls. Ooh. Oh. So you're like a little doll that some old man comes in, it's like, yeah, it's all busted, can you fix it for me? But then, I don't know, maybe you're alive and I sort of talk to you and I'm like, oh, you're beautiful. Baba, am I ugly? Very much. Personification of a phone ASMR. Now we're getting into really wacky territory. But nothing I can't try. Baba ASMR. Baba ASMR would be me in the ASMR mic just going you know, it'd just be that for 2 hours, and I don't know how long I can do that for. ATCA, thank you. Arabella, thank you. Elaine. A continuation of The Office ASMR. It would be popular. It would be popular. But then also with The Office ASMR, it would be like just 2 straight hours of pure sus. And also these two who've already... We've already performed fellatio on this man. I mean, I feel like if I did a continuation of Office, it would have to be my first unarchived ASMR stream, because there's no way that I can justify those two not having sex in the next ASMR. There is no way that you can justify it, unless it supposedly takes place afterward, you know? Yen Chestnut, thank you for the Akasupa, because I'm going back to Sydney on Wednesday. Oh, I'm sorry you won't be here for a while, but I hope you have a lovely trip. Kindred down on wet gloves, thank you. I don't know if I could. Like, that's the thing, is that I like being sus for everybody, and I like fucking around on you guys a little bit, but I don't know if I have the mental or, like, emotional capacity to go all the way with it just yet. Ice Gristle, Adadede Shoe, thank you very much, and Soft Gurlabi, thank you. I don't know if I could really do that. It's just, I don't know if going that far is something I'm really comfortable with yet. And maybe I don't think I ever will be. You know, I think the level we're at now is good. And it's not against YouTube's guidelines. It's just sort of riding the line perfectly between sus and bannable. So I think, while I understand the want for it, and I definitely have... I don't know. I don't think that's really on the cards for me personally. But I'll think about it. Maybe that'll change. I've certainly changed a lot over the past year, so you never know. But maybe one day. Maybe one day, but I'm not making any promises. I don't want to commit to something that I don't know if I'll be able to do. Susan's tapping it. She's like, don't you fucking think about it, you bitch. And I'm like, hey, Susan, you probably watch them as well, don't you? Ewan Boyle and Scoop, thank you. An AI ASMR. Oh boy, I mean, we talked about 2001 last time, right? We talked about 2001 in the movie ASMR, and I really like the idea of, what if I was Hal and I was like, hold on.
I'm sorry, Dave, but I'm afraid I can't do that. You have become a compromise to the mission.
And maybe it's a ASMR where it's like Hal's death, where you slowly, or I slowly get my memory banks taken out and lose my mind, but it just takes place over 2 hours, and I just sit there and I'm like,
Stop. My mind is going. I can feel it. I can feel it. You know.
there's a lot we can do. I like how well the werewolf little preset sounded, where it was like, wait, no, wrong. Right? It doesn't sound like anything, right? Come on. Wow, there we go.
I think that sounds quite appealing.
I promise I'm not a furry.
I'm basically just doing a Worgen voice from World of Warcraft.
I'll show you a full moon.
I sound like Gandalf? No, I don't.
Bilbo Baggins.
I wish the ring had never come to me, that none of this had ever happened. So do all who live to see such times. All that we have to do is decide what to do with the time that is given to us. Oh, it's that way. Ah, he's remembered. Nope, but the air down here doesn't smell quite so foul. That's the thing, Frodo. Always follow your nose. Gandalf is like Gandalf is the original comfort character. Gandalf is like one of the most fatherly, caring, loving, and sort of soft characters that you have in any fiction. Like, do you remember from Return of the King when Pippin and Gandalf are together and they're sort of in the middle of that humongous battle and Pippin is basically like, I'm not ready to die, and he says, death, Pippin? No. Death is just another path. One that we all must take. All sight and sound fades away, and then you see it. And the motif from Into the West comes in. Da, 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 a far green country, and all of that. What like a complete... That's what I feel about Lord of the Rings, how complete it is. It tackles so many different things, and it never feels like it's wasting its time. You know? Like, it tackles fear of death, fear of this, fear of that, an actual fantasy story, like, war, combat, humor, everything. Everything is in Lord of the Rings. It's fucking fantastic. And eventually, yeah, maybe at one point we will sit down and we'll just do some stupid-ass, like, 10-hour watch-along where we watch all 3 extended movies at once. What can you see on the horizon? The ships have come to carry you home. That song makes me cry every time. And I remember that's one of the first times where, like, when I listened to that, I watched Lord of the Rings, and then after that, I listened to that song, like, afterward. And I listened to that again, and I was, like, tearing up a lot because I was thinking about the story. And that's, like, the first times that, like, a work of art has gotten me to cry, like, a lot. Evapunk, your X does an instant. You could do a whole Lord of the Rings scene. Whenever I think of, like, a Saruman line, I only ever think of Christopher Lee from, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Lollipops. They age and yellow your teeth.
We must join with him, Gandalf. We must join with Sauron.
Lollipops.
What is that thing that Saruman says about fucking Radagast in The Hobbit, where he's like,
no, Gandalf, it's his excessive consumption of mushrooms. They've addled his mind and yellowed his teeth.
Linhith, good. Maybe I shouldn't do it so that you stay alive longer. Lord of the Rings marathon watch-along would be really, really, really fun. I'm pretty keen on that. Have I seen The Hobbit? Yes, I've seen each Hobbit movie a bunch of times. And I've seen Lord of the Rings even more often. La, 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 la. Lord of the Rings marathon. You guys really want a Lord of the Rings marathon? You have no idea. I like your funny words, Magic Man. You have no idea how much of my language you're speaking right now. I'm so down to watch all 3 extended Lord of the Rings movies in one watch along. Yeah, just like Alira finishing. Watching the entirety of Hunter x Hunter 2011 on stream is insane. She's of a different breed, I have to say. Super impressive. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. God, it's so close. The television is so close. It's been so long. I finally get to watch Obi-Wan. Yay! Have you guys ever thought about the scene from Two Towers where Legolas and Aragorn are talking about like the state of the battle and how unlikely it is that they'll win? And they're all talking in Elvish, and it's like, they are greater in number than us, and they do that, and they keeps going back and forth and back and forth. It's like, they shall all die, and then they're all speaking in Elvish, and then suddenly Aragorn, in common tongue, says, then I shall die as one of them! And it's a very powerful moment, but you have to imagine that these soldiers don't speak fucking Elvish. They don't know what's going on, and then he hears, then I shall die as one of them, and they're like, what? We're gonna die, I like that one. And I shall die as one of them. And I was like, huh? I was like, oh, I guess it's going to be that kind of battle. Okay. All right. Well, you know, I'm a little scared, but I'll take it. I do need to play Needy Streamer Overdose as well. I think that'd be, you know, because obviously I've always marketed my content to adults, so I figured like a more mature game might be safe to play over here. I want to eat Lembas bread too.
Oh, Smeagol's seen him stuffing his face with it. Stupid fat hobbit! He ruins it.
All we need is a nice, some good taters.
Taters, precious? What's taters, eh?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Have I not done my Smeagol voice for you guys before? I must have done. I've done that a few times. I must have done, but maybe some of you haven't heard it before.
Really nice fish.
That was like... Smeagol was the first voice that I learned how to, like, do properly. That was when I, like, really realized that I was good at doing, like, impressions of people, you know? And then I sort of found, like, a habit for it, and I just kind of started doing it. But Smeagol was the first one.
Catch a fish, juicy fish, so juicy sweet. Oh yes, go up the stairs, then round the canyon, then then a stair, then the tunnel.
I have so much fun. I have so much fun.
Yeah.
At this rate, I should just do Smeagol ASMR. Where you wind... That would be fun, actually! Like a Smeagol roleplay where you guys wind up in his cave and we have to genuinely play a game of riddles. And I'll take it seriously. I won't cheat. I'll listen to your suggestions and I'll be like,
oh, haven't seen you in my cave before, precious. Perhaps we play riddles, yes. Yes! No, shut up!
and all that kind of stuff, and then we have a little game. Oh, that'd be fun! No, I would totally do that. I don't know how long I could do the Smeagol voice for, because sooner or later it just starts like, you get some phlegm, you know, it starts like summoning up a lot of mucus and all that, but that kind of helps you do the voice a little more, makes it more raspy. Voice acting is an ugly profession, you gotta do a lot to yourself to make it work. No updates, Meowie, on the project yet, but it is in the works. I won't say too much. Doris, thank you for the super Linhith potatoes. Paradoxian, so sorry, thank you. And Elderflower, thank you. Oh, and Yan Chestnut, I think I missed your Arca Super. Thank you so much. Persephone, thank you very much. Really like my Professor Snape voice.
Turn to page 394. You have risked the exposure of our world. Turn to page 394. Bilbo Baggins! Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. I am not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
No, he's like...
Bilbo Baggins! Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. I am not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
It sounds like Bilbo is asking for his teddy bear, and he's like, oh, Baba. He's like, oh, Baba. It's like he has Baba in his life and needs a cuddle. He's like, oh, Baba. I'd feel scared too. Gandalf decided to do that shit to me. What's my favorite dwarf from The Hobbit? That's a good question. I like Bomber purely because he does the whole ridiculous barrel shit in the river, which is still absurd, but I love it, you know? The scene where he's in the barrel and he rolls down the thing and the music stops and he wipes out like 30 different orcs, and I'm like, damn, that was ridiculous. And then he stands up, his arms pop out of it like a fucking Disney character, and he starts spinning. I love that silly fat man. He's fantastic. Sorry, you got a cheese knife? Cheese knife! He gets it by the block. There's a really good Hobbit YouTube poop called
You put your name in the goblet of fire!
There's a really good YouTube poop of the Hobbit called An Incomprehensible Journey, and they just do a lot of ridiculous shit. Like it's like one of my favorite like sort of tropes in YouTube poop is reincorporating a load of old lines just over and over and over and over again. Like there's one where you've got it's the dinner scene in The Hobbit, the first one, and they're all sat around and they're discussing how they'll get the thing, and Balin is like, we have no key. There is no way into the mountain. And they all keep talking. It's like, that is not entirely true. There is no way into the mountain. That is not true. And it just keeps going like that. There is no way into the mountain. And they just let the scene play, the scene as it normally is, uncut. But in the background, you hear him saying, there is no way into the mountain. Nope. Nope. There is no way. Nope. Nope. There is no way into the mountain. There is no way. And then at the end, he just, there is no fucking way into the mountain. Sentence mixing is like one of the most prime forms of comedy because of the way that it plays with tone. Like the way a character's vocal expression will change so rapidly. And they'll just be like, there is no fucking way into the mountain. Like, obviously there's no other way that you can make that work without like adjusting it massively. But I think that's such a big part of the humor is how silly it sounds when you mix a sentence together. Like Michael Rosen, being like, I can't think of a Michael Rosen line now. I just remember when I made my own Michael Rosen poop a few years ago, and you listen to so many Michael Rosen clips, you start just thinking in his voice. I remember I was walking somewhere and I saw like some kid's shoes that had been thrown over a telephone line, and I just, Michael Rosen in my head just said, I wonder who put that there. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of YTP. I think like, especially just taking an existing form of media and repurposing it for a completely different thing and sort of criticizing it in a way by using it and flipping it on its head and editing it is hilarious, and I'll never be over it. I hope that YouTube Poop makes a big comeback, because it's sort of, at this point, it's becoming a bit of a relic of, there's a great Shrek YTP as well that I saw recently, where it's like, instead of, it's like the scene where they're on their way to Far, Far Away, and Donkey is in the back, and instead of going, it's hard to describe, but Donkey, instead of going, he goes, and they just change it so it's like he's rapidly like sort of bobbing his head going, destroyed me. I have such a silly and broken sense of humor. We need a YTP renaissance. We need the YouTube poop gods to come back. Lord Farquaad, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Alright guys, I think that's going to be all for me today. I have a pretty busy day ahead. I've got to do a load of DIY stuff at home, getting ready for the big delivery. I have got to clean my office. After the 24-hour stream, I've just, you know, my office is still in a bit of a state. I've cleaned up most of it, but there's still some stuff hiding. I need to, like, swab the floors and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of time to do. So, but guys, thank you for joining me today. It was a really chill little stream. We had a nice chat, discussed the ASMR, and just sort of hung out for a while. How do we chit-chat? How we cuddle? And I loved it. And I hope that you guys are ready for the story expressed in yesterday's ASMR to be continued in the Dragon ASMR. So that's all from me. Thank you very much, guys. I love you dearly, and I will see you all tomorrow for some Fall Guys. Goodbye. Oh shit. No, wait. I don't want to play the night ASMR again. Hang on. Let me get the old theme song back. Hold on. Where is it? I don't know if I have it. Wait, hang on. Fuck. Wait, is it in, like, the regular downloads folder? No. Shit. Never mind, I'm just making you guys sad again, sorry. Just cope. See ya. The no in this song is you guys going, no, don't play it again.